Alright, welcome back everybody. This is JudiciousFire. I'm on the iOS server. I'm going to be doing my Guild Wars attacks today. We have ourselves four great guilds. In fact, our brothers in arms at Always Hostile. We're going to scan for the highest mites, and we're going to target those. We've got about a 750, an 800, okay, we've got four that qualify there. Two nines. Okay, so definitely 750 and 800. So we know that everything's going to come from these two guilds. 875 is the last on that row. Okay, 956, 900, 897. All right, so we definitely know it's these 2 million mite targets. Let's go after those. We'll go backwards. We got a Zephyricas. We've got the whole gang. Let's just test it out, see what happens. Not necessarily attack. Okay, we have no pets operating that cause any base damage. We're not using any heroes that cause any base damage. We're just trying to take out the bad guys. Sort of a head-to-head strategy like back in the day. We'll take on this next million mite target. Okay, we got another Zeph. We got a Cosmo. All this other stuff. Okay. Let's go here. Let's go right after the Zeph with Dove. Let her absorb the... Or let's go right after Cosmo with Dove. Let her absorb the procs. Let these three engage in combat. Bring my other three in. Leaving only Zeph. He takes a little while to knock out, but is by no means a game-changing hero. It's not anybody who puts up any kind of an impossible defense or impossible offense. And he's out. Okay, so we have an 897 and an 875. Let's go 956. Everybody pretty much centrally located. Let's let Dove absorb all the nastiness. We bring in these three with a damage cap. From the other end, as soon as they engage in combat, we'll bring in the other three to back them up with buffs. You see why I bring the other three in to back them up with buffs later. Because they're just not designed. You know, Anubis and Walla, Ripper, they're not attackers anymore. If they ever were. That phase of the game has changed. They are support heroes. I mean, even poor Anubis has been turned into a support hero. He is there to debuff the enemy's attack. He is there to help clear troops. But he's not a frontline attacker anymore. Okay, got another. Everybody got a Zeph. It's just like Lavanica. Every stinking base got another Zeph. Okay, let me go down here to Zeph. And I'm going to drop Dove, let her absorb everything. Let's bring in Lava and Zeph on the other side. Wait with my three buffers and or debuffers. And we bring him in from the side. You can see the heroes on the opposing base slowly disappearing. That's what we want. It's like head-to-head sniping. I'm sniping them, but I just happen to be in front of them when I'm doing it. That's going to leave nobody. All right, good. We cleared it out. Okay, how many more of these we have? Wow, we're at 12, 4, 5, 4 already. Okay, let's go. We want the next highest might. Last highest might. 897621. 897603. See if there's any point differential between the two. I would doubt that. I bet they're going to be the same points. 3030. 3030. Okay. Let's try. We want, this is the strategy. We drop Dove, our highest survivability hero, to absorb all of those horrible procs. Then we drop Lava to distract the enemy. We drop Zeph in a different place. This way, if Cosmo procs again, he can't get all three of us. Then we're going to bring in our buffers as soon as our other guys are engaged in battle. Want to make sure that they are doing something. Let's try to keep our guys a little bit closer. Our guys always function better when they're close together. Let's try not to get them so close that they all get wrapped up into the same Cosmo proc, but okay, and bring in my 3 buffers. Or debuffers. Yep, I like this. See, look, all 6 functioning very well, supporting each other, healing, providing a debuff, providing a buff, providing a shield, providing crit strike damage, providing somebody to distract others, providing rapid fire crit hits. And we got it. All right, nice. How'd we do? 15484. I think I'm a few points ahead of last time. Not too bad. Hoping to get that 16K pretty soon. So far we have, okay, I got 146 successful defenses so far. It's very, very early in the server day. And we've got ourselves 15 defense failed. And there is no finer beauty than seeing the 80s and the 70s and the 60s. It goes down the list into the 50s. No finer beauty than that. And there's absolutely no way in this game, say it, Guild War video after Guild War video, there's zero way to defend your base in Castle Clash. No tower can hurt a max breakthrough hero. It can't even slow him down. What's the use of towers? One las proc and all the towers are destroyed. Okay, there's your garrison for you. With a 40 by 40 board, you have very little ability to actually shield your buildings. Hero immediately enters into the screen, boom, is in contact with your buildings. The idea that Guild Wars is set up on a building destruction only basis, and you can leave all the heroes there on the base untouched. If it were up to me, friends, you wouldn't like it. If it were up to me, oh my gosh, you'd have to beat the heroes. You'd have to beat the buildings. Full 100%. Everything on the screen gone. And you wouldn't get more than one chance. Okay, so the 2 battles that I did today, where I started over, I needed to start over, I wouldn't have been able to. As soon as you engage in combat, that's it. And what we would find for our Guild Wars attacks would be we get a couple of 70s, couple of 80s, couple of 90s. We're lucky we got 200s during the course of our battle. And that's called a challenge. So right now we're doing very well. 135, 145. We're about 10,000 away from first. Again, it's pretty early in the day, and not many people have had the opportunity to go. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate all these guilds taking part in these great guild activities. It's a wonderful guild community up here on the iOS server. If you are an active player on the iOS server, please check out a guild, get involved in guild life. If you are, and we're still recruiting, we are at 37 members already at endgame. And if you are above 600k and you're interested in joining a guild, all we require is Guild Wars and that you continue to progress with your account. That's it. Everything else is optional. And before we go out, let's check on the heroes. Okay, I got Dove as my crit striker. I've got her with a Vigorous Fury and a Brute Force. She's going to get a higher likelihood to crit. And then in addition, more crit damage from the crit. She's got Rudolph to dispel debuffs as well as to provide her with a heal. She's my point person. Her ultimate damage cap, far better than Zephyricas, is going to allow her to eat up all the procs and be the very first one out there on the board. She's a shield, and she provides a perimeter for my other guys to do their work. Lava. I've got Lava running with a survival. That's going to give him invulnerability as well as a second heal. He needs that against these Zeph teams that I'm taking on these days. I got him with Fennec to provide another heal. I have him with an Empower. And the reason is I'm only using Lava to distract the enemy. That's it. Lava doesn't have the strength to take out today's top heroes. He doesn't have the survivability to go face-to-face or one-on-one with a lot of them. I'm using him to keep them busy. And as he flies out onto the board, those 10 squares, 15 squares that he's traveling, that entire time he's beefing up on energy. Also, it gives him a 40% health bonus, which helps a lot with the survival. So I'm only doing that because I'm using him as somebody to distract the enemy. It's like putting a really big guy, right up in front and say, hey, look at him. And the rest of us go in, we pick your pockets. We've got Ripper. Ripper's going to provide a silence. He's got if your Ripper's dying, investigate dodge. I have all dodge Ripper. The guy doesn't die. With the Empower, he's going to be auto-procking. I am not putting him in the front of the line. I'm not even putting him directly in combat. Putting him in the corner, and as he walks the long board, he will auto-proc, provide that silence, that debuff, do the damage that he does, all that via auto-proc. He is not a frontline guy. The Wicked Armor is going to provide a 7,000 cap on reflected and deflected damage. That'll kill him. With this setup, he remains alive, offensively or defensively, as long as offensively you're keeping him in the corner. I've got Eulophant, because Eulophant's going to be giving you the chance to give Ripper a dodge boost in addition to what he already has. Walla is a debuffer of the enemy, slowing him down. Walla is buffing our team, giving us a damage bonus. Walla is healing us, all this via auto-proc with his Empower. I've got him set up defensively with a Sacred Light. I've also got him with a new pet to provide a deflect or a negation of damage, sending that damage then back at the enemy. It also gives a big, I think it's 100% attack boost. All of these things will help Walla and his auto-proc teammates in the corner as they simply support the other three. Anubis is the third of that gang. He is auto-procking in the corner with the Empower. With the Wicked Armor to keep the reflect and deflect down. Mini Angie to give this guy a ability to heal and to lower the damage that he's taking. He is going to cut the attack abilities of the enemy down by 50%. So they're half as strong as they were as soon as he activates his skill. Zeph, I have him running, and I'm experimenting a number of ways with Zeph. I love the Vigorous Fury as a base talent. I think that really pretty much whatever you pick after that's going to be helpful if it's crit related. Also, when you find that the insignia is at 9, they tend to have a much higher health and damage bonus. So I am running a Sharpen 9. And the Sharpen 9 is going to give him... Let's start with Vigorous Fury. It's going to give him a higher likelihood to crit and a big health bonus. The Sharpen 9 is going to give him an even higher likelihood to crit. And in addition, a super attuned accuracy level. Where even high dodge heroes, and most of them that I'm taking on this Guild Wars, Most of them have exceedingly high dodge rate. I gotta have the accuracy up, and the sharpen provides that. I could be running brute force and providing more damage, a damage boost. It's the old decision: is it better to hit, once every 5 times, but for massive damage, or is it better to hit 4 out of 5 times, but for a lower damage? I went 4 out of 5 times with lower damage because I'm dealing in this Guild Wars. I'm going to be dealing with doves, lavas, and Zephs, and all of them have damage caps. And big crits aren't going to count against their damage cap. It'll still be 18,000, 36,000, 10,000. It'll be relegated to that quantity of damage. So it's much better to do it multiple times, again and again and again and again and again, and hope that the duration of crit strikes and regular damage eventually accrues to be enough to knock these guys out. And we go back to Dove. Thanks, everybody, and I will check you on the very next Guild Wars video, I am sure. And again, if you're interested, apply Endgame. We jumped up to rank 13 here on the iOS server. All right, thanks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.